In this video I'm going to show you guys how you can easily get 100% legendary Pokemon without spending Pokecoins. With this method you can also easily get 100% shiny Pokemon, or better known as Shundo. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know this. You can get one free raid pass per day. You can claim this pass by spinning a gym. You can spin a gym by clicking on the arrow next to the name and spin it like a normal Pokestop. You can only have one free raid pass in your bag. You cannot stack them, so if you already have one, you will not get a new one before you do a raid. So yeah guys, that's the method. If you do this every day, you will eventually get a free 100% legendary Pokemon. I'm just kidding guys. I mean, you could get a hundo from doing this, but the odds are very little, like maybe once a year, which is still not bad. Important to know is that when you do a raid, the minimum IVs are 10, 10, 10 and the maximum IVs are 15, 15, 15, which is a hundo. So the odds of getting a hundo is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216. So that's 1 in 216 chances to get a hundo from a raid. This is a big number, especially if Niantic keeps pushing new events every few weeks. You can only do a few free raids from certain raid bosses. So if you're not willing to spend a lot of money on the game, you really need to be very lucky to get that hundo. Well, today I will prove you wrong. You can in fact easily get 100% legendary Pokemon without spending any Pokecoin. And the way to do it is with Lucky Friends. When you are trading a Lucky Friend, you will get a guaranteed lucky Pokemon. A lucky Pokemon does not only cost less Stardust to power up, but the minimum IVs for a lucky Pokemon are 12, 12, 12. So the odds of getting a hundo is 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 4 times 4 times 4, that's 64. So the odds of getting a hundo is 1 in 64. So if you're lucky, you might be able to get a hundo after trading 64 Lucky Friends. You can only do one special trade a day, and trading a legendary or a shiny Pokemon is a special trade. So assuming you're doing one every day, it would roughly take over 2 months to get a hundo. But I see you thinking, bruh, who has so many Lucky Friends? Well, the answer is me. I do a Lucky Friend trade every day, or at least I try to, because sometimes it's hard to meet up with certain people, but I roughly do about 26 Lucky Friend trades a month. But I will talk more about this later in this video. The point that I'm trying to prove here is, if you're only able to do one special trade a day, and you can only do one free raid a day, then why on earth would you do more raids? Because it will only fill up your storage, as you will not be able to trade them all away. I mean, I get it, it's fun to do a lot of raids together with friends, but personally I like to play as free to play as possible. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not saying I'm free to play. I've also done a lot of raids in the past, but since they introduced lucky trades, I changed my playstyle. I now focus on having as many interactions as possible with my best friends to increase the chances of having more Lucky Friends. I'm going to explain you how to do this efficiently. First of all, you need to be friends with as many locals as possible, and preferably people who you can easily meet up with. Before adding each other, you need to make sure that both of you agree on what you're expecting from each other, because you can only open and send a limited amount of gifts daily. Important information is that only one of you has to open the gifts and not both of you. Once you have interaction, there will be a blue shade around your friend's avatar in your friends list. You can only open 20 gifts and you can only send 115 gifts daily. 100 from stops and 5 from your buddy every 7 hours. If you're watching this right now as I speak, you can actually open 30, but this is temporarily in game. But this means if you have 200 friends, you can only have interaction with 145 max. So basically you want to find people who can open your gifts daily. When I add new friends, I tell them they have to open because I simply can't. I already have my group of 30 friends who I agreed with to open daily. The reason why I mentioned specifically 200 friends earlier is because the friends list used to be capped on 200 friends. Recently Niantic has increased this to 400, which actually makes no sense, as you can still only interact with 145 people max through sending and opening gifts. However, you can also get interaction with battling together, such as in gym battles, raid battles or PvP battles. So if you're really hardcore, you can quickly do some 10 CP battles with your friends to have interaction, without having to open and send gifts. Personally, I wouldn't do raids to get interaction with friends, but when I do my daily free raid pass, I always try to invite some friends that are online which I don't have interaction with yet, and that I'm not lucky with, of course. You can easily do this by typing Intractable and !lucky in the raid lobby, and of course sort your list by online. Another way to get interaction is from trades. This will seem like a chore in the beginning, but once you get used to it, you will see that it's worth it. Also remember that you can hold a maximum of 20 gifts in your bag. If you have Pokestops at home, or as people like to call them, home stop, it's fairly easy to send a lot of gifts. But if you don't have home stops, I would advise you to look for a nice loop in your city that has a lot of stops. Personally, if I go to the Citadel Park, I can spin about 25 stops in under 5 minutes on my bike. So to obtain and send all of my gifts, it roughly takes about 20 minutes a day, but because I have home stops, I can send 20 gifts when I wake up, because I turn on my gacha before going to sleep. Anyways, if you can manage your friends list like this, you will be more likely to get multiple lucky friends per day or per week. And eventually you'll be able to do one lucky trade a day, just like me. I'm going to show you my Pokédex to prove that I'm not talking bullshit. Articuno I've never traded, Zapdos I've never traded, Moltres 25 luckies, Mewtwo 11, Raikou 0, Entei 0, Suicune 8, Lugia 0, Ho-Oh 0, Regirock 9, Regice 18, Registeel 13, Latias 70, Latios 64, Kyogre 1, Groudon 42, Rayquaza 7, Uxie 47, Mesprit 2, Hazel 52, Dialga 7, Palkia 0, Heatran 10, Regigigas 10, Giratina 23, Cresselia 0, Cobalion 3, Terrakion 0, Virizion 0, Tornadus 0, Thundurus 2, Reshiram 1, Zekrom 3, Landorus 0, Kyurem 0, Xerneas 0, Yveltal 1, Melton 3, which is a total of, I don't know. I will show the total number somewhere on the screen. I've also done about 66 Spiritomb trades and about 50 Lucky Pikachu trades, which I can't really prove, which is like an extra 100 trades. But yeah, I've also done a lot of shiny trades, such as Timber, Klink, Shinx, Togepi, or just costume shinies. So a rough guess will be that I've done under 600 lucky trades. So yeah, let's have a look at the hundos I managed to get from lucky trades. So as you can see, I managed to get 7 hundos in total, which is pretty nice. Assuming I've done about 600 lucky trades and knowing that the odds of getting a hundo is 1 in 64. You could say I'm unlucky, but I'm not complaining. I'm happy with these 7. I know some hardcore players will be watching this and will say, oh dude, if you did more legendary raids, you would have had more shinies to trade and those hundos would be shundos. And that's true. But for me, that's not worth the cost. But everyone plays the game as they wish. Today I wanted to teach you guys that you do not have to be a big spender to have a lot of 100% legendaries or shundos. I hope you guys learned something from watching this, as I often get asked why I don't do many raids, so this is why. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you managed to get this far in the video, please leave a like if you enjoyed watching this video. Feel free to share it with your friends and your community, as it helps to grow my channel. Make sure to subscribe, it's totally free and it helps me out a lot. And if you want to follow me daily, make sure to follow me on Twitter. And that's all. Bye. Xerneas 18 0